If you're in the world of project management, you know the PMBOK guide is basically essential reading. Well, get ready because with the new 8th edition, things are changing in a big way. Today, we're going to break down why this isn't just another small update. It's a really smart synthesis of everything that's come before. Let's get into it. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. Another update? Really? And hey, that's a fair question. But trust me, this is not just a fresh coat of paint. The 8th edition is a genuine game changer, making the PMBOK guide more practical and honestly more powerful than ever before. Let's take a look at how. To really get why the 8th edition is so cool, we kind of have to look at the journey it's been on. For a while, the PMBOK guide has bounced between two different philosophies. One was this super rigid, process-heavy manual, and the other was a very high-level, principles-based framework. The big challenge was, how do you get the best of both? Well, the 8th edition has the answer. Yeah, this slide just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got the 6th edition. Think of it like a detailed cookbook, right? It had a specific recipe, the ITTOs, for pretty much every situation. And then on the other side, you have the 7th edition, which was more like a philosophical guide. It focused on the why behind project success. Both are super useful, but they were almost speaking different languages. Until now. So, before we go any further, let's do a quick refresher on the two big ideas from the 7th edition that are absolutely foundational to this new guide: principles and performance domains. First up, principles. You can think of these as your project's North Star. They aren't meant to be strict rules you have to follow, but more like the core values that should guide every single decision you and your team make. Things like fostering collaboration or always focusing on delivering value. And then we have performance domains. So if principles are your why, then domains are your what. These are the big, critical areas you've got to focus on to get a project done successfully. We're talking stakeholder engagement, planning, risk management. You get the idea. They're the arenas where the real work gets done. And here's the most important part. Principles and domains, they're two sides of the same coin. They are totally inseparable. Your principles are the values that guide your behavior, and the domains are where you actually put that behavior into practice. You really can't have one without the other. All right, now for the main event, what we're calling the great synthesis of the 8th edition. This is where the magic happens, because you're about to see how this new guide masterfully pulls together the detailed structure of the 6th edition with the awesome flexibility of the 7th. You know, this quote from the guide itself just says it all, doesn't it? The whole mission here isn't to throw out the old stuff, but to build something better and more unified. A framework that's actually designed for the way modern projects work. Just to be super clear, the 8th edition is not about picking a side in the process versus principles debate. Not at all. It's all about integration. It takes the how from the old processes and the why from the principles and melds them together into something that's way more powerful. So, you're probably wondering how this all works in practice. Well, it's actually a pretty simple and kind of brilliant 3-step process. First, you start with those flexible performance domains from the 7th edition. Then, and this is the key, you plug the detailed processes, those ITTOs from the 6th edition, right inside each of those domains. And what you get is a complete, practical, and seriously adaptable framework. It really is the best of both. And the power of this new approach is huge. You now have this incredibly versatile toolkit. It lets you be agile and responsive when you need to be, but you still have access to all those detailed processes for when you're tackling big, complex projects. It's like finally having a whole Swiss Army knife instead of just a hammer. This new integrated model also gives a massive boost to one of the most critical skills any project manager has: tailoring. Let's see how that works. As the guide points out, tailoring is not just picking and choosing processes you like. No way. It's a deliberate, strategic act. It's about consciously designing your project management approach so it's a perfect fit for your specific project, your team, and your organization. So, what should be guiding your tailoring decisions? Well, it's a mix of a few key things. You have to consider those core project management principles, of course, but also your organization's culture and its values, and naturally, the unique challenges and opportunities of your specific project. It's all about finding that perfect balance between best practices and what's going to work in the real world. Okay, so let's bring this all home. What does this actually mean for you, the project manager out there on the front lines? What's in your new and improved toolkit? Let's wrap it up. This quote really gets to the heart of it. The 8th edition basically frees you from being locked into one single methodology. It empowers you to focus on what truly matters, delivering outcomes, delivering value. It's all about choosing the right tool for the job, not just the one you've always used. So, in a nutshell, your new 8th edition toolkit is more powerful and adaptable than it's ever been. By seamlessly weaving together the why of the principles with the how of the processes, it gives you a practical framework that is truly built for the real world. And there you have it, the PMBOK Guide 8th edition in a nutshell. It's a really powerful evolution. It honors the guide's long history while also paving the way for a much more flexible and practical future for project managers everywhere. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. How will this new integrated approach change the way you deliver value on your next project?